Here's my preview of the number 19 Baylor men's basketball game against Kansas State and Waco. First of all, it was a tough loss against TCU. You got to flip the script here. You got to protect home court, especially after a barely loss by a point. Now, some players to keep an eye on for Kansas State are Keontae Johnson. He had that problem, like heart issue on the court a few years ago, or something like that, during a game, and now he's back all the way back. He's number 11, 6'6", 230-pound forward. That's a senior. 18.4 points per game, 18 for 44 on threes, 56 for 74 on free throws, 6.9 rebounds per game, 2.5 assists per game, 2.8 turnovers per game, 1.3 steals per game, 2.2 fouls per game. Marquise Noel, he has been a catalyst in the first two games already in the Big 12 with over 30 points or more in a game. Number 1, 5'8" guard, 160-pound guard. That's a senior. 15.9 points per game, 28 for 78 on threes, 69 for 80 on free throws, 3 rebounds per game, 8.5 assists per game, 2.6 turnovers per game, 2.4 steals per game, 1.3 fouls per game. Naquan Tomlin, number 35, 6'10", 210-pound forward. It's a junior, 11.6 points per game, 10 for 33 on threes, 30 for 44 on free throws, 5.6 rebounds per game, 0.9 turnovers per game, 1 block per game, 1.4 steals per game, 2.6 fouls per game. Desi Sills, number 13, 6'2", 200-pound guard. That's a senior, 8.9 points per game, 9 for 34 on threes, 20 for 26 on free throws, 3.1 rebounds per game, 2.6 assists per game, 2.1 turnovers per game, 0.9 steals per game, 2.2 fouls per game. Now, this next player has not played the last 2 games for Kansas State due to undisclosed injury, and he's questionable in my opinion. Supposedly he was game time decision, but he didn't play. So that's David Nigosan, number 3, 6'9", 215-pound forward. It's a junior, 7.8 points per game, 3 for 6 on threes, 14 for 30 on free throws, 5.1 rebounds per game, 1.1 turnovers per game, 0.8 blocks per game, 2.2 fouls per game. Cam Carter, number 5, 6'3", 185-pound guard. That's a sophomore, 6.9 points per game, 15 for 43 on threes, 11 for 15 on free throws, 3.1 rebounds per game, 1.4 turnovers per game, 0.9 steals per game, 2.7 fouls per game. Now, Abiyama Yomi, Abayomi, I apologize if I butchered that last name. Iyiola, Iyiola, I apologize if I butchered that. Number 23, 6'10", 220-pound center. That's a senior. 4.9 points per game, 6 for 7 on free throws, 3.2 rebounds per game, 1.13 turnovers per game, 2.2 fouls per game. Tyke Green, number 4, 6'4", 205-pound guard. That's a senior, 3.8 points per game, 5 for 19 on threes, 6 for 17 on free throws, 2.1 rebounds per game, 1.4 fouls per game. Ishmael Masood, number 25, 6'9", 220-pound forward. That's a junior, 3.7 points per game, 7 for 18 on threes, 6 for 6 on free throws, 0.6 turnovers per game, 1.5 fouls per game. That's the main players you're going to have to get to know, because the last two, they're 2 points per game with less than 100. They hardly played anyway. I will say this about Kansas State. They defeated number 24 West Virginia in the first game in overtime by 6 points. They also have defeated number 6 Texas in Austin 116-103. Their defense was off in that game. So, it's simple what Baylor needs to do defensively in this game. You've got to be a whole lot better in transit and fast break defense. First of all, you can't allow that many points. Second, points in the paint. You got to limit those. Second chance points as well. You got to be better defensively and not allow so many drives to the basket. And don't let those shooters get comfortable. And don't give them any clean looks. Of course, get the rebound as well. Rebound the ball well as well. So, and force turnovers, unlike the last game. And I would honestly forget the press. It didn't work against TCU. It's probably not going to work against Kansas State here. Here's why. because Kansas State could score really good. And once you get past that certain part, it's a 3-on-2 situation. You could get like a layup or a wide open shot. And I get it speeds them up, but if they hit those, that's a problem. Now, I will say, on both ends of the floor, you got to do a lot better job in foul trouble than last game. That's obvious. You got to be out hustle them. You got to be stronger mentally. And not just physically, but mentally. Obviously, on offense, you got to take care of the ball better than 15 turnovers last game. I don't mind the assist number. It's the turnovers, especially when the guy's foot was on the inline or something like that. You know what I'm saying. Like, catch the ball. You got to be aware of that. You got a better court awareness. You got to shoot the ball efficiently in this game like you did last game, except that 9-minute stretch or something like that. You couldn't score anything. You need to find a way to get to the rim and not just live on jump shots. Yes, jump shots are helpful, but you got to get to the rim too. And you got to make free throws count, and of course, limit the free throws for Kansas State as well. I mean, that's the truth. You got to get some more rebounds in this game. You got to have second chance points, fast break points as well, points in the paint. Besides, shoot well from 3, but that's besides the point. And I would think L.J. Cryer, he's going to step up in this game. I would think so. Because I just think he was a little bit rusty. Obviously, Adam Flagler didn't have a great game. Hopefully, he has a better game shooting the ball, despite being double figures last game. So I'm just saying that, just to say it. Josh Ojewuna, just keep what he did, except the fouls. I mean, obviously that one putback would have been nice at the very end of the game. Got to make free throws count too. Keontae George needs to step up as well as Langston Love, Dale Bonner, Jalen Bridges. Jalen Bridges shot the ball better. I think he's getting his confidence back. Caleb Lohner, he's a liability on offense at times, but he's got to be a lot better. I mean, he's got to have to step up as well, like at least on the rebounding, and limit the turnovers in like the last few games here. And you got to try to get some rim, like get him like some touches. If he could do like a screen and roll or something, and he gets to the rim wide open, give it to him and let him finish. You got to finish stronger. Flo Thamba, at least on the rebounding category as well as the defense. And overall, the defense just needs to be a lot better than last game. There's no question in my mind. It's got to have to be better. Yeah, that's pretty much, I know that's naming a lot of starters, I know. But Kansas State overall averages 78.5 points per game while they allow 64.9. 35.4 rebounds per game. They shoot about 47.5%. 18.8 assists per game, 2.7 blocks per game, 8.1 steals per game. So you got to get some steals in this game and get some blocks without fouling. You got to do a lot better job on the steals category than the last game. The blocks category, I like what we did last game. It's just that steals thing. And you don't want to allow so many steals either, or so many blocks. And you kind of have to pump fake if you can, and just drive past them. I mean, and this is an important game right here. With the loss, you're going to be out of top 25. I can promise you that much. With the win, you're still in. And I think Kansas State's going to be in the top 25 regardless, whatever happens. So, this is a quality game here. They're receiving votes. They're not a bad team. They only have one loss. And we know what they did at Texas and Austin. They destroyed them. Yes, I know it was a 13-point difference, but they didn't score 116 points. I mean, but I know they're concerned about 103 allowed. No, that's how Jerome Tang is. And we know that. So, because of his time at Baylor as a long-time assistant here at Baylor. So, You got to put that last game behind you and just don't let one game beat you into 2 games here. I mean, like, mentally, after a close loss like that, don't let that beat you again. I mean, in terms of like a mental thing, like, uh-oh, we're really falling on the slopes here. You don't want to turn into one close loss into another loss in a row. Like a letdown game here. You got to move past it. You got to improve. And there's still a lot of season left. And this is a quality opponent that you could bounce back and get a good win over. If possible. Anyways, if you like this content, hit like and subscribe button. I see you guys later. It's going to 500 subscribers. We're on the road to it. Let's go.